Hello, welcome to Reality Check 2017. Today I want to talk about why Hillary Clinton does not represent what she would like you to think she does. Lately there has been a lot of backlash by the media and interested citizens about Trump on the subject of immigration. Some of this may be overreaction and some of it may be merited. I am not here today to defend Trump. The question I want to ask is, does Hillary Clinton represent something different? I also want to ask the question of the last four presidents, just who were the friendliest towards immigration? Was it George Bush the Elder, Bill Clinton, George Bush the Younger, or Obama? I have also heard that Trump is racist due to his stance, but I have not heard this about other presidents on immigration. I also heard that Republicans are racist on immigration versus Democrats. Is this true? Do the numbers bear out? Let's look into that. If we go to Homeland Security and look up the immigration numbers of legal immigration, because let's face it, numbers on illegal immigration are all just guesstimates and suspect. Plus, legal immigration will tell us which president is actually more friendly towards immigration than others, not which one is harder on security necessarily. So, what do the numbers say? Well, the numbers bear out. Interesting. When we look at, let's start in 1988 with the election of George Bush the Elder. What we find is that during his time in office, which was only 4 years, he allowed the immigration of 5,426,081 people. That's 1,356,521 people per year. When we move to Bill Clinton, we find Bill Clinton, who was in office for 8 years, twice as much, only allowed about 660,000 more immigrants, for a grand total in 8 years of 6,280,488, an average of only 785,061 per year. If we move to George Bush the Younger, who was in office for 8 years, as we all know, we come up with a number of 8,327,610 total. That is 1,040,951 per year. With Obama, the total we have to look at is only for 7 years, because the numbers for 2016 have not come in yet. But in his first 7 years, he's allowed 7,325,216 legal immigrants in the United States. That is 1,046,459, a number almost identical to George Bush the Younger. However, you say, hey, but it is a little bit more. Well, it's about 5,100 more. At 1,046,000 versus 1,041,000. But, you say, hey, it's more. But what we have to do is we have to look at the median population, or the average population, however you want to look at it. Let's look at the median. It's a little bit easier. Population of the United States during each of their terms in office. The median population of the United States, while Bush was in office, is about 297 million people. With Obama in office, it's about 315 million people. So, while Obama appears to be a little bit more friendly, if we adjust for population density, it's actually the other way around. Bush is just slightly more friendly than Obama. So, those two are pretty close to equal. We give a slight edge, if we look at it as a percentage of the population, goes to George Bush the Younger. What does this mean? This means that the least friendly president since 1988 towards immigration is a Democrat. It's Bill Clinton. The second least friendly president is Barack Obama. And the just behind him, very, very close, and almost a tie, is George Bush the Younger. And by far the friendliest president towards immigration is George Bush Sr. If we look up our own video of speeches given by these individuals, we will find that during the 1979 Republican National Convention, when Reagan and Bush campaigned against each other, yes, they were not always together, both of them were pro-immigration, pro-open borders. So the Republican Party was very pro-open borders. And the Bush family, as they have stated before, have several Latinos in the family. Jeb Bush's wife is Latino. So their position on immigration is a little bit different than the media may present it. Whereas Bill Clinton ran on a platform of border security, a platform which his wife came to share. And you say, well, she was just supporting her husband. But is this true? In 2005 and 2006, she championed for a border wall and border controls and what she called physical barriers. Let's get real. That's a wall. She tries to back off on it during the election, saying, I didn't say a wall. It's a fence, not a wall. You might want to call it a wall, but it's a fence. It's the same thing. Matter of fact, a lot of people do not understand that there actually is a wall and fence in place over much of the border, especially across Arizona, New Mexico, and Southern California, most of which was constructed during the Bill Clinton administration, or later on in 2006, when the bill, which was voted on and voted for by both Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama, as they were senators. So, the issue here isn't that Trump's stance is correct. The issue I'm bringing up is that the stance of the Democrats, the proven stance, is almost identical. And for them to say different and for them to call him racist is very hypocritical. I'm not saying that maybe they're not wrong, that they're wrong. He may be racist. If you want to consider his stance racist, fine. But if it is, so is theirs. So the question I would ask, though, if you're for immigration, allowing more immigration, does the current Democratic platform really represent you? Maybe we need some change. It doesn't need to be Hillary Clinton. And I think this may be part of the reason why she lost the election. She doesn't represent a change. She's not all that different from Trump. A lot of people have seen through that that her views, when they changed, magically changed in like November of 2015 when she discovered, hey, I'm most likely going to be the candidate for the Democratic Party. I need to differ from the Republicans on something. And with Trump running on a pro-wall, she wanted to find something different. So she ran on an anti-wall, despite over 20-something years of history of her running on a pro-wall, voting on a pro-wall, having a husband who was the toughest president on immigration in the last 30-plus years. So, I'm going to leave you with some clips, and you can kind of decide on your own. But the question is, does she really represent you? I would say no. I'm not saying Trump does. I'm not defending Trump. I'm saying, Democrats, it's time for you to bring in somebody different. Let's get away from Hillary Clinton. Don't champion Hillary Clinton. Find a new candidate. Find some fresh meat. Find some new ideas. And Republicans, you should do this too. Trump is different from maybe some of the others, but some of the ideas aren't different. I'm not saying that we don't need border control. We do. But at the same time, that doesn't mean we need to treat the people who are here as aliens. It means maybe we need to revise our legal immigration system so that it's a little easier to come in legally, so people don't feel a need to come in illegally. But those are all topics for another question. But once again, I ask, on the topic of immigration, is Hillary Clinton really your candidate either?
Mexico is such an important problem. Mexican government's policies are pushing migration north. There isn't any sensible approach except to do what we need to do simultaneously, secure our borders with technology, personnel, physical barriers if necessary in some places, and we need to have tougher employer sanctions, and we need to try to incentivize Mexico to do more. If they've committed transgressions of whatever kind, they should be obviously deported.
All Americans, not only in the states most heavily affected, but in every place in this country, are rightly disturbed by the large numbers of illegal aliens entering our country. The jobs they hold might otherwise be held by citizens or legal immigrants. The public service they use impose burdens on our taxpayers. That's why our administration has moved aggressively to secure our borders more, by hiring a record number of new border guards, by deporting twice as many criminal aliens as ever before, by cracking down on illegal hiring, by barring welfare benefits to illegal aliens. In the budget I will present to you, we will try to do more to speed the deportation of illegal aliens who are arrested for crimes, to better identify illegal aliens in the workplace, as recommended by the commission headed by former Congresswoman Barbara Jordan. We are a nation of immigrants, but we are also a nation of laws.
We all agree on the need to better secure the border and to punish employers who choose to hire illegal immigrants. We are a generous and welcoming people here in the United States, but those who enter the country illegally and those who employ them disrespect the rule of law, and they are showing disregard for those who are following the law. We simply cannot allow people to pour into the United States undetected, undocumented, unchecked, and circumventing the line of people who are waiting patiently, diligently, and lawfully